It's time now for Your Local Hospital on the Town, brought to you by Sierra Nevada Memorial Hospital, Dignity Health. And now, here's your host, John Cadis.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Monday edition of On the Town. We are featuring today Your Local Hospital, and my guest is Dr. Jason Wallace. Jason, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes.
Good to be here.
So you originated here in Nevada County, left Nevada County, and now you're back since November?
Yes, that's true. So I wasn't born and raised here, but I was raised here. I came
born in
here,
Lincoln.
Born in Lincoln. My parents were living in Lincoln, and at the time I was born in Auburn. They were doing deliveries there.
Okay.
And so we lived in Lincoln a couple years, and I've been in Grass Valley and Nevada City from kindergarten up through high school, graduated from Nevada Union.
1999.
It's a good year.
It was a great year. And I was sharing with you, I was on the school board at the time, so we sat there in Cooper Stadium for countless hours in the beating sun.
Yes.
To shake the hands and hand the diplomas to, I think, in excess of 700 kids.
The graduating classes were awfully big back then. Yeah, I think.
And you were one of 40 valedictorians.
It was something like that. There were quite a few, but yeah, I was one of the group up there that was striving for excellence at NU, and I did sports, but I also thought academics were important. So.
And you were a three-sport?
I was.
Athlete?
Three-sport athlete. I played football and basketball, and then did track. In track, I did the hurdles and the high jump.
Wow.
And I loved that.
What position did you play in the football team?
I played receiver and I played safety. Yeah.
And what was your record through your 4 years?
Oh, I can't tell you. I don't recall.
You don't recall?
I don't recall.
Want to admit it.
Yeah, I think my teams were probably about 500 through my junior and senior year. It wasn't like the good old days of old where we were as excellent as we could have been. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had some great teams, and my team was good, but not great like some of those other ones.
So where if it happened in your high school career, did you determine you wanted to go into medicine?
That's a good question. I think it was during high school when I kind of solidified what I wanted to do with my life. I think I wanted to set my sights on being a physician and was going to work towards that goal. I'd also thought about doing some other things, becoming a dentist, things of that sort, all healthcare related. Mm-hmm. But I think becoming a physician was certainly the goal, and I'm just feel privileged that I was able to reach that goal.
And there were people in your life that made you feel like this was a direction you wanted to go in?
Absolutely. Growing up in this small town, there were a lot of doctors here locally that I grew up with that I felt like had were good role models for me and were good examples for me. Not only were they good at their job, but they were good people in the community, people that I saw, people that supported the community, supported me in sports. And those were kind of the type of people that I wanted to be like.
You mentioned Dr. Reeder and Dr. Curtis.
Yep, those wonderful doctors I knew. Dr. Reeder was my doctor growing up here, and Dr. Curtis I got to know a little bit later, in some of my later years
right.
while I was here. But they're just the type of people that you gravitate to because they're just good. They're just good, honest, wonderful people, and are looking to help others, and that's what I tried to emulate.
Great answer. So you left NU. What was your next stop?
So getting through undergrad, I took kind of a winding road. I went to Rexburg, Idaho, where I spent a year there. Back then that was called Ricks College. Now it's BYU, Idaho. And then I went on a mission for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for 2 years.
To Philadelphia.
To Philadelphia, of all places.
What was that like?
It was quite an experience coming from this small town. It was a blast of culture. I learned how to speak Spanish, so I spent a lot of time in North Philadelphia. But I really grew to love those people, and it was a wonderful experience. I think it was an experience that kind of set the tone for my life. Serving other people, learning how to interact with other people. It was just a wonderful experience all around.
Could you share maybe a sample of what the day-to-day activities were?
That's a good question. We had a fairly regimented schedule. We'd wake up at a certain time, we'd read from the scriptures. I did about a half an hour of language training because I was speaking Spanish at the time. And you hear about a lot of missionaries that go to other countries,
right?
And language becomes easier for them because they're immersed in that language and in that culture. Well, I think I had to study a little bit harder. It didn't come as easy for me, so I spent quite a bit of time studying the language, which has actually been really fortunate through my medical training.
I bet.
After we'd study for a while, we'd get breakfast, and then we'd go out and meet as many people as we could in Philadelphia. We'd knock on doors. People would call and ask for a Bible, so we'd go to their door and deliver them a Bible. We'd share spiritual messages with them. And then members of the church that were there in Philadelphia, we'd visit their homes, we'd see if we could help them, and we'd do a lot of service. We did whatever we could to kind of help the community. So it was a good experience, especially at that age.
Are you a Philly cheesesteak fan now?
I love them. They're so good.
Just can't find them like you can in Philadelphia.
It's very true. And the two big ones are Geno's and Pat's, and they're both excellent. But I always found the best cheesesteak was, just from some of the small little stores at the corner of every block. They have a small little store there, and those guys always made the best cheesesteaks. They were amazing.
So 2 years, solid, straight on through, no
straight
breaks?
Straight on through 2 years. And when I got back, I was young and poor, and when I was at my first school before my mission, I was doing track, and the plan was to go back and run track and play football there. And in the meantime, that school transitioned from a 2-year junior college to a 4-year university, and they got rid of their sports programs. And I thought, I just want to do one more stint playing football. So I actually transferred to American River and played football there for a semester.
You're in Sacramento?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that was fun.
How'd you do?
The team was horrible again. Unfortunately, I did not wind up with strong teams. I loved it. I thought it was great. I got to play safety. It was fun. I got to do what I love to do, but the team was not too good.
Wow. Okay, so we're getting close to our break time, so let's just, while you were at American River, you were going to school as well, obviously. You can't just play football, right?
Yep, went to school. And then after that, I went to BYU in Provo, Utah. And that's where I finished my graduate degree.
Okay, so then it was on to medical school.
On to medical school.
We'll go into that right after our break, okay?
Sounds perfect.
All right, so for KNCO News Talk 830 from Sierra Nevada Memorial Hospital, this is John Kadis. Welcome back, everybody, to our Monday edition of On the Town. Today we're featuring your local hospital and Dr. Jason Wallace, DO, Family Practice, Dignity Health Medical Group. Well, that's a mouthful.
Yes,
Welcome
it is.
back, Jason.
Absolutely.
And thanks for taking the time out of your day. I know it must be busy. But let's go into your training to become a doctor of osteopathic medicine. You went to Northern Colorado.
So I went to Northern Colorado Family Medicine. That was my residency training. So that was up in Greeley, Colorado.
Okay.
So before then, to become a doctor, you need usually 4 years of an undergraduate degree. Mine was in biology from BYU.
Okay.
And then I went to Western University of Health Sciences, which is down in Southern California, in Pomona, California. And that's where I did 4 years of medical school training.
So you did 4 years at BYU, or you got your degree from BYU, because you had some prior education experience. Then to Southern California for 4 years.
Yes, sir.
and then to I mean, holy Moses, this is a lot of years.
It is. It's quite an investment. It really is. It's an investment physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and medical schools these days. It's also an investment financially as well.
I bet it is. Yeah. Were you able to obtain any scholarships or any?
Through medical school, I wasn't, but fortunately through undergrad, I was able to get the Gododi Scholarship. That's the famous one here in town.
Yeah.
So I certainly appreciate them for all they did for me to help me with my profession.
So let's take some time and focus on Western and your basic medical training.
Great.
Is this strictly people focusing on becoming doctors of osteopathic medicine, or is it everybody combined?
Yes. So at Western University, they had several different programs that were a pharmacy program. My good friend growing up here, Alan DiMartini, we were roommates. My first 2 years at Western University, I was in the DO program. He was in the pharmacy program. A lot of people know the DiMartinis here in town.
Who doesn't know a DiMartini?
Absolutely. Great family. So then there's a physical therapy program, but my program was specifically Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine.
Okay.
And that differs a little bit different than MDs.
Okay. How so?
What I tell people, it's very similar. I received similar training in pathophysiology, pharmacology, so, what a disease is, how to treat the disease, what medications to use, what studies, tests to order, things of that sort. A DO does get a little bit of extra training in hands-on manipulation is what I use to call it, or therapy.
Like what?
So I like to think of it as kind of a blend of physical therapy.
Okay.
It's a lot of massage and certain techniques to help the body relax. And really the thing behind osteopathic medicine is if the structure, if your body is misaligned or if the structure isn't balanced, then the function doesn't ensue. So we use things like muscle energy techniques, which are using your muscle to help and your actions to try to help muscles relax, and we're doing certain techniques to try to help the body realign itself. And the goal, and hopefully what happens is as the body and structure is realigned, then the function ensues and the pain improves, or you're able to feel better. And that's one of the main tenets of osteopathic medicine is that important balance between structure and function.
Sure. So you would learn the techniques probably on each other, but then
we did.
Was there a clinic as you became good at what you were doing that you could actually treat people?
There was. A lot of through medical school, a lot of it's kind of the pro bono work. People come in off the streets and they're kind of what we use to practice. But mostly it was, we had the OMT, osteopathic manipulative treatment. We'd have that 4 hours each week, and the majority of the time we spent it on each other.
Okay. So following Western, then you went on to your residency, and what was that all about?
Residency was amazing. It's a very difficult time for a lot of people just because of the demands. Sleepless nights. You're on call nonstop, but it was a wonderful experience. My training was in Greeley, Colorado, and they really tried to prepare us for rural medicine. So so I came out feeling very confident about my medical training.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So then you had to find a job.
Yep.
And
Next
then we'll
was
get
a job.
into that right after our final commercial break. So
Sounds
my
perfect.
guest is Dr. Jason Wallace. He's recently moved back to Nevada County, and we're going to find out why that all came about after this break. So for KNCO News Talk 830, this is John Kadis. Welcome back, everybody, to our final segment for this Monday edition of On the Town. Today we're featuring Your Local Hospital, along with Dr. Jason Wallace, who's a doctor of osteopathic medicine, family practice, part of the Dignity medical group. So, we graduate, we get through your residency. Now what do I do? What was that all about?
I knew, especially growing up here, that I wanted to be in a small mountain town. One thing that I've always enjoyed is the outdoors. And so I knew when I was finishing residency that I wanted to be in a small mountain town, and I knew I wanted to be less than an hour from a ski resort.
Sounds like Nevada City, Grass Valley.
Absolutely. So having grown up in a place like this, that's kind of what I was looking for. I was fortunate enough to find the town of Pagosa Springs, which is in southwest Colorado, and that's about an hour east of Durango. And they were looking for a job. And
really?
Yeah, so I had found it on the internet, this job posting, and I was doing a cardiology rotation during my third year of residency at that time. And this doesn't usually happen, but the cardiologist was taking Friday off, and he said, I'm taking Friday off, take the weekend off, do whatever you want. And my wife and I looked at each other, and we jumped in the car and headed down to Pagosa Springs.
You mentioned your wife is from Colorado.
Yes, she is.
Okay, so you met her while you were
So we actually met when I was in Utah, and then we
okay.
dated a little bit, and we ended up getting married during my third year of medical school, which I'm going to say was her third year of medical school as well.
Because she's an RN.
She is an RN, but medical school and medical training is difficult on the family.
I bet it is.
Yeah, it's a lot of demands.
Okay, so you took a trip to Pagosa Springs, and you liked it?
Loved it. It was a place that, I Googled pictures of it, and I knew instantly that it would be a place that I'd be just fine there. So I printed out my resume, and I walked in through the front door. And
oh, you hand-delivered it?
I did. I hand-delivered. I walked in, and I said, who's in charge of hiring here? And so I met the CEO at that time, and was able to build a good relationship with him, and was eventually hired there.
So how big is Pagosa Springs?
If I had to guess, I would guess it's probably around 6,000 or 7,000 people.
That's it?
It's a pretty small place.
And it's a long ways from other places too, right?
It is. It's about 5 or 6 hours from Denver. And
Bob Gray, 831, please.
And it's about 4 hours from Albuquerque, New Mexico, in southwest Colorado. But it's a beautiful mountain town. We sit where my house was. We were about 7,500 feet.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we were up there, and they get quite a bit of snow. The ski resort that's located nearby was Wolf Creek Ski Resort. They opened October 13th this year, so my daughter and I were out snowboarding and skiing on October 13th, so that was a lot of fun.
Wow. So you and your wife agreed, we're moving to Pagosa Springs, and you got the job and
Absolutely.
started a family.
Yeah, it worked out great. So, yeah, we had 2 little girls while we were in residency, and we've added 2 more kids. So we've got 3 girls and 1 boy.
Okay. Ages?
7, 5, 3, and then our youngest will be 1.
In about a week.
Yeah, coming up real soon. Yeah,
So
wonderful kids.
What was it like working in Pagosa Springs? What was the day-to-day activity?
It's a good question. The day-to-day activity, I think, is going to be similar to here, working in an outpatient clinic.
Okay.
So I deal with a lot of people who have chronic illnesses, work with a lot of people that have diabetes and heart disease, heart failure, things of that sort. I definitely think it's important to practice preventative medicine. We're in a day and age where we have a lot of things where, we can do our best to prevent disease before it occurs, and we have the ability to, through routine and regular screenings, hopefully catch any diseases before they get too bad. So that was the transition's going to be great. What I was doing there is going to be what I'm doing here.
You were saying you were close to an Indian reservation, so a lot of the patients you dealt with had diabetes, and one of the frustrations was acquiring medications, specifically insulin, to help treat these folks.
Absolutely. I think that's one thing that we all realize is, the difficulty with cost of medicine. That's something that people think that I'm a doctor and I'm immune to that. I'm not. I know how much it costs to provide or to receive good medical care. And I've certainly felt that personally in my own life. So I can understand when people go to a pharmacy and they say, I have to pay that much for a medication. So I understand that struggle. And I think one of the things that highlights with me are, with the things that I deal with more routinely are certainly medications for diabetes and then medications, inhalers, things for emphysema, COPD, things of that sort. But it is difficult. There's great options for treatment, but sometimes getting those good medications to the patient is a struggle.
Yeah, I'm sure that's frustration for lots of folks in your profession.
It is. Yeah, my coworkers know what it's like.
So what was the impetus for you to return to Nevada County?
So my wife and I, we would always come. We're fortunate to come here every other summer to visit family, and it's a great place. I mean, you can't beat Nevada City and Grass Valley. It's just a wonderful place to visit. What really was the main reason for us moving was my father passed away at the end of June. He died in a motorcycle accident, so it was very sudden. And after my wife and I came out here for the funeral, we sat down and talked, and we felt like it was a time to be close to family and to help them during this difficult time as we kind of find a new normal, what life would be like without my father.
What was it like leaving Pagosa Springs? Because I imagine the number of years you spent there, you had friends and the kids had friends.
I'm going to be honest, it was difficult. I still get text messages from my friends that are out skiing at our local resort, and they keep me updated with how much snow they've gotten. But the community was excellent. I loved my job. We had great family friends there. So it was difficult. I'm going to be honest. It was difficult to leave. But when it comes down to it, we felt like it was the right thing to do, to be here, to be near family. And I feel very fortunate that I was able to find a good position where I'm working. And I haven't been around the other providers in my medical group yet, but already after a short week, I just feel like they are incredible providers, and I think I'm going to be able to learn so much from them.
So when will you be seeing your first patient?
My first patient will probably end up being tomorrow.
Bob Gray, please dial 832. Bob Gray, 832, please.
Not tomorrow, Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, I got ahead of myself. Tomorrow's Saturday.
That's right.
We'll save that for Monday.
And where will your office and practice be located?
So I work at the Dignity Health Medical Group. That's on Sierra College Boulevard, 280 Sierra College Boulevard. We're Suite 120, so we're on the bottom floor of the medical building there.
And you're looking forward to it, I bet?
I am. I enjoy my job. I love my job. Like all jobs, there's some difficulty, but when I go home at the end of the day, I'm happy with where I'm at. I enjoy my job. I enjoy the work I do. And like I said, I'm already impressed by my coworkers.
All right. So, Jason, you're going to be taking new patients?
We are taking new patients. We're open for business. Feel free to call and make an appointment. My office is located at 280 Sierra College Drive, Suite 120.
Okay.
So we're there, and
Have you memorized your phone number yet?
I have not memorized the phone number yet. Maybe by next time you interview me, I'll know it.
Okay. Well, Dr. Jason Wallace, thank you so much for taking the time. Wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
you're
it.
You're a great young man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That'll do it, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
This has been Your Local Hospital on the Town, brought to you by Sierra Nevada Memorial Hospital Dignity Health. Listen to fourth Monday of every month to learn more about your local hospital.